Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Israel. This is SOZ Houston. This is Brother Karadazar from SOZ Houston.
Hey, Shalom, Shalom. It's Brother Potter Wafi from SOZ Houston.
Hey, and this is another episode of Blowing That Trumpet.
Hey, staying on that what? That pivot, man.
All right. All praise the Most High. That brother always bringing that's the spirit of the Lord, man. Got the mighty hands, the mighty fists of the Lord, swinging, man. Today we got to go over a couple things that is, in the earth today. So we always try to hit these things that affect our temple and affect our spirits and affect our minds and our soul, and how we serve the Lord and how we serve each other, man. So to stay on the highest performing spirit that you can be on, we gotta stay aware of certain things. So today we're gonna be talking about the detriment of foods, the high corruption in the U.S., and the great fall of Babylon, and more. You know what I mean? And you got anything to intro with that, brother?
Yeah, Khan, man. There's a lot of stuff going on in the earth, man. We just the second month in, and there's already been attacks on U.S. embassies, right? America has attacked people, right? And when we go into this thing, you'll see a lot of other things going on, right? How people are sneaking in under those enemy lines, man. Right now, this is silent invasion. We all seen the Avengers, what's the something wars, Scroll Wars, or something like that, man. And they kind of aliens, they kind of get invaded, and nobody knows because they paint themselves to be somebody else. Well, that's what's going on right now. You got the so-called Chinese man, the Russian man coming in at the borders and pretending to be Issachar, right? Getting into America, and now they setting up their camps, man. So that being said, hey, it's a war out here. Be watchful, be diligent, and stay on your P's and Q's, man. All right, get that, King.
All right, that's beautiful points, King. But before we start diving too deep into what's going on into this corrupt and wicked world that we live in, man, let's go ahead and give all honors and glory to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Barakatah, and give all glory and praises to the Most High. And we're going to start off by doing what we normally do by giving all praise to Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to Yahweh by the Father by Him. You know what I'm saying? So, like we say, we love our people. We love the Most High above all things. We love serving the Most High above all things. But one thing we love to do while we're doing that is to be in respect while doing it, showing sincerity and that broken, contrite spirit, man. I'm gonna go ahead and bring out your precept out too, King. I got you open your opening precept as well. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 1. And it reads, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved.
That we all must give answer. This is written for a reason. All scripture is for our learning, right? For our salvation, for our hope, right? And this scripture lets you know that what you have hope. For the Lord, He's definitely coming. He's definitely speaking unto you, right? That's plain.
Come on, all praises. So let's jump into this first one, man. And to understand what we got to do in these last days, it's a very repetitive practice that the Lord gives to us to make sure that we don't stray far away from what He instructs us to do, right? And the things that we got to do is kind of be like, going back to get that like a babe with the sincere milk, and so let's open it up with what's going on in the earth right now, man. The Lord said, be mindful of the things that we do and the things that we take in, and do not, defile our temple, man. So we're going to start off with how the madness of the things we can avoid is the food in this place, man. And we always know that there's things that are always corrupted by the things that you see. One day you see it and it looks like this, and the next day it looks like, it's an obvious abomination. But how many times have you eaten something without even knowing that that's an abomination? So before we start, I want to start off right here just so we can understand a couple things about, we remember why we're doing this. We're doing this for those who are just coming into the truth, may not have a deep understanding of certain aspects of things we should and shouldn't do. But 1 Peter 2:2 says, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. And that's a very understanding. What is milk? Something that you take in, something that you ingest, right? It's a form of nourishment. Milk, cheese, all of these things are coming from, from products of milk, man. You understand? So that what you take in and what you digest it's a very, very big deal. But we can't get to the point where you only can eat meat and potatoes, man. We got to always remember, hey, the little ones, the new ones. Hey, I'm a little one still in my spirit as well at times. You know what I mean? I don't know everything. I need to grow thereby all the time. So what we got to do is take that milk in. But what should we not be taking in? Let's go into it. Let's get into it. Let me know whenever you're able to hear, brother.
Instant noodles is not good for health, but because it tastes good and is easy to eat, it is loved by many people. So how does the factory make instant noodles? First, the pork bones are sent through a grinder, which breaks them into small pieces, which are then collected in this giant.
First, the what bones? And let's just keep it on the basic level, man. Let's get this understanding for those who don't understand the significance of why that's mind blowing, man. Because you should definitely understand. Hey, man, guard your spirit with all diligence. Let's start it off with the. You there, brother? You're kind of breaking up on the sound a little bit.
My bad.
No, you're good. It's just a little like your networking, like choppy a little bit. But no matter what, we're talking about food, right? So let's look what the Lord told us in Leviticus 11:2, which this is our dietary law that we got to maintain, right? So if you didn't know, this is what the Lord said to the children of Israel. It says, "Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts out on the earth." So whatever is in this chapter is the things that we can eat and the things that we cannot eat. So let's just jump down to the context of what we're actually discussing right now, right? So we're talking about what? Leviticus 11:7 right now. "And the swine, though he divided the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he chewed not the cud, he is unclean to you. The Lord said, Of their flesh ye shall not eat, and their carcasses shall you not touch. They are unclean to you." Now let's look at what they're putting into this food, man. Let's run it back. Let's run it back since we just started.
That eating instant noodles is not good for health, but because it tastes good and is easy to eat, it is loved by many people. So how does the factory make instant noodles? First, the pork bones are sent through a grinder, which breaks them into small pieces, which are then collected in this giant strainer and moved to a large pot to boil for 24 hours. At the same time, workers began to process other materials for making sauce packets. They feed the meat into a cutting machine, slice it into thick slices, then cut it into small cubes, pour it into a soup and cook it. When the bone broth is ready, it can be poured into a blender and mixed with other seasonings such as chili and soy sauce. The vegetables in instant noodles are being prepared. After dehydration, the chopped green onions, carrots and shiitake mushrooms will be mixed by the machine according to a fixed ratio and packaged. Next, start making the pancakes. First, pour the concentrated chicken soup into the water, then let the pipeline pump the chicken soup and flour into the mixer machine for stewing, so that the umami taste of the chicken soup gradually melts into the dough. When the flour reaches the proper viscosity, it is transferred to an extruder, and then passed through a series of noodle-making machines into curved shapes. But at this time, the noodles are not yet formed, so they need to be steamed through a steamer, and then the noodles will turn golden yellow. Then the machine will cut off the noodles according to the weight of each package and drop them into the container below, and then spread the dough flat by the air jet device, and then it can be sent to the oven for drying and shaping. Then the small hammer on the assembly line will remove the... It is said that eating instant noodles is not good for health, but because it tastes good and is easy to eat, it is loved by many people. So how does the factory make instant noodles? First, the pork bones are sent through a grinder, which breaks them into small pieces, which are then collected in this giant strainer and moved to a large pot to boil for 24 hours. At the same time...
See, and that's what you got to understand, man. You're not really looking at it like, man, I'm eating pork. But they're using pork bones to make broths. You understand? They're putting, I don't know if you caught it, shiitake mushrooms and certain things, dehydrating them and sliding them in there. These are all abominable things that the Lord hates that if we were to take part in, man. And those are the things that the Lord said in what? You want to bring that out? And well, I'll bring it out real quick in Isaiah 66:15, man. And you know, one thing that we can afford as so-called the poor of Israel is some noodles, man. Packs of noodles. How many nights have y'all woke up? Or how many days have y'all gone home and was like, man, I'm hungry as hell, but all I got in here is some damn ramen or some shit? and then you pour it up. You boil it up. What is it? You boil it up in 66, is it 66 and 16, I believe.
66 and 15 should be.
Yeah. We'll just do it right here. But we'll just go straight to 17. It said, "They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together," said the Lord. So you're not even thinking that you're doing something because you have no blatant ham sandwich on your plate. You're not eating the ham hocks and the greens. You don't have the hot link sandwiches. All you're doing is sitting on your couch with your sword open, with your Bible open, with a bowl of some noodles, and you say they're chicken noodles, right? Where's the abomination in it? They soak it in the. Be mindful, like a new baby sauce. Salakia, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties right now, um, but we're getting it back together. We can't let the word be shut up. So either way, this is part of the process, man. See what we got going on. All right, cool. So yeah, we're still back into it. So fortunately, you can see that in these last days, the Lord, if you get caught eating any of these things, even though you didn't intentionally see it, hey man, the Lord's gonna judge you on that. So you got to be mindful of the things we ingest at these last days, brother. Can you hear it clearly, King? I don't know what happened. We had some technical difficulties, brother, but you can go ahead and cook, man.
No, I ain't got nothing to say, man. I want to hit that next video.
All right, Con. Which one?
About the chocolate.
The what?
About the chocolate.
The chocolate?
Yeah, the chocolate people.
Okay, yeah, okay. We can jump to that one. We have one other one to go since we were right there.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's get that one real quick then.
Yeah. I want you to jump on that, man.
See that? You're gonna let me do it though.
Well, because you asked to. So.
See that?
All right, brother. Go ahead. We're gonna let this one play. Let me know if you can hear it.
No. I'm gonna have to scroll down a little bit and unmute the video.
It's unmuted. I just gotta make sure that when on the screen share that the volume is accepted to play. Okay, we started it over.
That's in shrimp and why it's important to fully cook them. Make sure you watch to the end and let me know what you think in the comments below.
You see what it just said? It says if consumed, these parasites not only resist digestion, so your stomach can't break them down, but also penetrate the stomach lining and enter into the bloodstream and make their way into the human brain. And these little wiggly worms, those are the parasites that you're ingesting. These shrimp are not something you want to eat raw. Remember to cook them thoroughly to eliminate any potential risk.
In this video, they speak about...
That's what you don't understand. So you want to click on that, King?
Yeah, let me get the book of Deuteronomy 4 and 6, man. I want you to start at verse 5, I'll be sure if you could. Right? See, the knowledge of the Lord, that's the only knowledge we need. Right? We don't need Esau's technology. Right? We don't need Ishmael's beliefs. Right? We don't need the so-called Chinese man's advancements, right? Or his holograms. All that we need is Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. Because the Lord is the one that truly loves us, is going to take care of us. Let's see this real quick. Read that for me, Baba Shah.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 4 and 5. And it says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye shall do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
Read next verse, please.
Verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding.
He says what? Read it again one more time. For what?
For this is your wisdom and your understanding.
Our wisdom and our understanding, man. I don't need Esau to kind of grab a dang needle, put it inside of a shrimp's head for me to not eat it. The Lord told me not to eat it, man. The Lord know what he put in those things. In Esau, right? Look how crafty he is, man. Even if they got a brother right there, right? He's working off the white man's knowledge. They think they can just cook it and it'll be okay. But that's not what the Lord said. I just read the book of Leviticus, the 11th chapter. Nowhere in there does it say if you cook something thoroughly enough, it's going to be clean, man. And the Lord, he has that set standard, man. If it's clean, it's clean. If it's dirty, man. There's no confusion with the Most High God, man. So when you see things like this, bro, it's simple. Stay away from it, right? You don't have to. You don't need dang Albert Einstein, right? Jefferson. You know what I'm saying? You don't need none of these big time Isaac Newton. You don't need none of these big time so-called inventors to tell you anything. The Lord told you, man. That's how plain the scriptures is. But because you don't want to, a lot of our people, right? We refuse to trust in the Lord. We choose to trust in science, trust in oppression. Hey, look how destroyed we are now. Right? Go ahead, Key. I'm gonna let you cook.
Nah, and you brought out a very good point with this wisdom. This is the wisdom and understanding. It's so plain upon tables. We try to go far into things that don't benefit us, things that are against the knowledge of the Lord, the things that are those things that we don't really need to be trying to become wise within those things. But what we do have is a wisdom and understanding of the Lord. And let's find the wisdom in not eating the shrimp real quick. Let's just bring out the book like we just going into. This is we got to keep it playing upon tables. Leviticus 11 and 9. These are this is the dietary things of the beasts that we should eat and the things that we should not eat, right? This is what the Lord said, Leviticus 11 and 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. The Lord says, and all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, and of all that move in the waters, and of any of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. So that's a very plain upon table. Anything that moves in the water that don't have fins and scales are an abomination for you to eat. And what does the Lord do? He hates all abominations. And you got caught in the midst of an abomination. We read in Isaiah 66 and 17 that the Lord's going to put you down with a fiery sword because you cannot be caught in these abominations, man. He's going to render your flesh. He's going to plead with you and kill you, man. So just like those parasites, though, those parasites will get into your brain and they'll shut you down and kill you. And next you know, what? You have health issues. You're a vegetable. Literally, you get your brain performance is down. You know what I mean? You can't really, you're hospitalized, you're bedridden, you're getting eaten from the inside out by the worms of the Lord that he sends upon you because you ate that abomination. Those are fearful things, man. And they said you can't even digest these things. So your stomach acid isn't strong enough to kill these things. They actually bore into your stomach and jump into your bloodstream and swim up to your brain and kill you, man. So that's how serious it is to stop eating these things that the wicked man of this world says is a delicacy, because you're eating death, potentially death, man. And everything that you do, you got to be mindful and pray to the Lord that, hey, if I did do anything that is an abomination in thy sight, forgive me, Lord, so you don't get judged in that manner without consideration of repentance, right? And let's go to the next one of actually what the brother was really trying to get into, which is also very abomination. Look at this. Something truly wrong with these folks, disturbing. What are they talking about?
Anything. We can be sure of one thing. White people will be there greedily consuming it. But how crazy is it that for years, they were actually guilty of literally eating black bodies? White people are obsessed with us. They want to control us, oppress us, and if the current culture is any indication, they want to be us. But not many of us know that white consumption of blackness is sometimes literal. White cannibals aren't a figment of our historical imagination. Europeans often ate the mummified remains of Egyptians. Researchers argued it was for a substance Egyptian embalmers used to kill bacteria. But even when the health benefits of mummies were debunked, white people continued eating flesh. During the Atlantic slave trade, whites were known to eat the bodies of Africans when supplies ran low. Though it's suspected this occurred on many occasions, there is at least one documented case of this on the slave ship Aragante. White people also, anytime we create anything, we can be sure of one thing. White people will be there greedily consuming it. But how crazy is it that for years, white people also consumed lynching victims. When Nat Turner was captured after
you see that? So, hey, that's a known thing, man. And they keep it in documents. Now, she said there was only one case, but let's be honest, man. If they was bringing us from one area to another, and they had us packed in so tight that we was hand and foot, do you think they actually brought over supplies of things to eat on? No, they had us. A lot of people don't know that. There's actually books talking about recipes they had for cooking us, man. Kind of turn this into soup. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of people also don't know. Over there, I think it was Belgium that took over the Congos, where they used to chop little kids' hands off, you know what I'm saying? And now they have a tradition where they give you chocolate hands every year. And it's based off literally chopping your hands off, man, and eating them. Can you give me the book of Proverbs, Baba Kashah? I'm going to show you what they're doing. Proverbs 14 and 9. I'm going to show you what they're doing to your face, man. Right? These devils, they ain't got no fear. They don't care. Let's see what, look, read that for me, Baba Kashah.
14 and 9?
Yeah.
This is the book of Proverbs 14 and 9. Fools make a mock at sin.
Uh-huh.
But among the righteous, there is favor.
So they are mocking us, man. They're mocking us in their sins, man. They're laughing at us. How they stealing men. How they eating men. How they're destroying the Lord's people, man. They mock us. Do they not make songs about us? Do we not got people like Jack Harlow calling us niggas? Justin Bieber making a song and it says one black lonely girl. Damn, Eminem got a whole racist tape, man, that he kept hitting from somebody, man, calling us nothing but niggas, disrespecting us and our people, man. They mock at us. We're the joke. We're the noise. We're the laughter, man. And it's right there in our face, but we got to be what? More willing to listen and hear. Let me get one more precept, Baba Kashad. Ezekiel 22 and verse 2. So your own enemy is laughing to your face, man, kind of mocking you, throwing it in your face. Yeah, we had you as slavery. We had you as slaves, but that was so long ago. Why are you worrying about it now? Oh, I didn't do that. My forefathers did that. Well, you still benefiting off it. But let's read. Read that, Baba Kashad.
This is the book of Ezekiel 22 and verse 2. Now, thou son of man, wilt thou judge? Wilt thou judge the bloody city? Mm-hmm. Yea, thou shalt show her all her abominations.
Okay. So it's eating right there. Let's read, though.
And it says, verse 3, then say thou, thus saith the Lord God, the city sheddeth blood in the midst of it, that her time may come, and maketh idols against herself to devour herself.
Now, here we go. Here come the point. Verse 4. Let's see what it says.
It says, verse 4, thou art become guilty in thy blood that thou hast shed, and thou hast defiled thyself in thine idols which thou hast made, and thou hast caused thy days to draw near, and art come even unto thy years. Therefore have I made thee a reproach unto the heathen and a mocking to all countries.
You see that? They do it everywhere. The Chinese, man, they call us niggas. They mock us, right? Putting us in their shows, kind of seeing the first so-called black men, kind of washing them, trying to get the pigment off them. Huh? They've been doing this, all because what? We went off and we found ourselves with idols. And what's the main idols, man? The main thing that Jake loves to put over the Most High God, the nations, man. Why can't we all be saved? Don't they say that? God loves everybody. God wouldn't do that. My God wouldn't do that. My God told me to love my neighbor. That's not your neighbor, man. So, hey, because we done all these things, man, we killed the prophets, man. We killed our people by leading them on into sin and wickedness. We rebuked them not. We held not the standards of the law. Look how far we've been falling, man. Right? And I can eat on this, but I'm gonna let that brother get in there. Go ahead, King.
No, man, you was making really, really strong points, brother. You see how they turn all of these customs into these heathen customs, man, and everything's an idol to our people, right? That's what the heathens worship, idolatry, man. They were making these customs talking about if they eat our flesh after it's embalmed, it preserves their life and their health. These are idealistic beliefs, man. And then when they realized that it was all just BS, they still kept eating us, man. That's an abomination. That's disgusting and all in itself. I want to continue on this one just to hear a little bit more, just so I can cook with you, bro.
Virginia, enraged white people chopped him up to pieces, made accessories from his skin, and used the fat from his body to make grease. White people are obsessed with consuming us. Though they don't eat us as meals anymore, they still consume our culture. We should be careful about the white people we support and those we invite to the barbecue, especially since our well-being might be on the menu. Okay.
See that? So what did she say? They chopped us up into bits. They were eating us like, you got like a deer. But what did they do? They treated us like, what is lard? Lard is pig fat, right? And when you get enough of it, you heat it up to a high temperature, it turns into grease. So what do? You cut us up, you skin us, you chop us down, and then you take the fat off of our bodies to fry our own body within our own fat. That's an abomination. That you got to be a sick and twisted person right there.
Hey, Salaki, you can't even cook a goat in his mother's milk, man.
Damn, see that? And
then Salaki, if you don't mind me saying, what she said at the end, she said, even though they did this, be careful of who you invite at the barbecue. So they still give anybody's. You still looking for a so-called white man to invite after he didn't? That's crazy, man. That's how much we love our oppressors, man. Go ahead.
King. Those are mighty points. But let's look at Lamentations 2 real quick. 2 and I believe 15. Lamentations 2 and 15. It says, all that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that called the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? So when they look at us, they know that the Lord says, we're the beauty of the whole earth. We're the perfection of beauty, man. We're the perfect delicacy in their eyes, man. The things that they want to do with us is abominable. They want to eat us. They want to, and then what they want to do is talk bad about us, say we ain't shit. But what do they look? They strive to do and to be just like us, to the point that they want to consume us so they can take in what they consider in their idolatry, the essence of the so-called Israelite man, the spirit, the energy. So let's go into the verse 16. This is what it says. All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. And that's literally what they did to us in slavery, man. They cut up Nat Turner, chopped him up, fried him in his own fat, and then swallowed him up. And said, certainly this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. And that's what they were excited to do, because they were, that's why they say make America great again, because they wanted to, they said, man, we got something that's amazing. We can do whatever we want to these people. We can beat them, we can lynch them, we can grape them. You know what I mean? We could cook them, we can torture them. Thank you, Lord. Thanks for giving us these people to just brutalize. The Lord said, the Lord had done that which he had devised. He had fulfilled his word that he had commanded in the days of old. He had thrown down and have not pitted, and he had caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee. He has set up the horn of thine adversaries. And all of that came because what we do. We broke the law, statutes, and commandments, man. And that's the one thing that we should, that's the brutality and the consequence that comes with not having all your faith in the Lord, not following with obedience what the Lord has said. And this is the consequences of what will happen, that the Lord will put up an enemy over us that will rejoice in eating us. They celebrating it. It's a celebration, man. And that sister, like you just said, I was going to hit that point as well. She said, do not trust thine enemies, man. Be careful who you bring it in there. Let's just bring it out. Is it 12 and 16, I believe, right? 12 and 10, I think. Is it 12? All right. I don't know if it's 12. I think it's 16, right? 16 and 12, maybe?
You said
10. 10 is 10. It's time for 10, I believe. Never trust our enemies.
No, that's I tried 6.
It's not 6.
Okay, well then.
I don't believe it's 6. We can see, but
Google it.
No, I think it's on 12, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's 12.
And if I'm right, you gotta repent.
Brother, I repent even when I'm wrong, brother. It says it's all good. Never trust thine enemies. You Google it.
I think it might be in I'm gonna check. I got it highlighted somewhere. You Googling it?
No,
you gotta go to it's not gonna show up because you gotta go to the 1611.
I'm just gonna pull it in there like that. I think anyways, the point is, man, I think it's 12, 16 and 12.
You gotta put in the never.
Never. Nah, you know what?
Never trust. Just put in never trust.
Brother, you got a sword right there. You could be looking in, but
brother, I am looking in. That's what's crazy. That's crazy.
I got you.
See that?
See that?
Now I gotta put on. Hold on. Let me think. Let me put on.
Nah, don't worry about it, brother.
No.
I got it.
You ain't got it.
The Lord got it.
See that?
Let's see. I'm about to find it because that's
you Googling it. That's cheating.
That's not cheating, brother. Okay, there it is. I thought it was.
Con. There we go.
I knew it was 12.
That's what I said. You know what I'm saying? Chapter 12, man.
No, Ecclesiasticus 12.
And verse 10.
This
Here
is
we go.
Ecclesiastes. That's why
Well,
it looks all weird. Man, we simple.
I told you go to the Just scroll to the bottom, King. Oh, no, man, you got it.
Nah, I got it right here. That's what we was in the right place. We just in the wrong book. I got glasses, so you know.
Oh, it's my scoliosis for me.
It's your scoliosis too.
No.
All praise, man. I love this. Look, so what the sister was saying is very true. The Lord agrees with that. It says, never trust on enemy, for like as iron rushes, so is his wickedness. So just like that, he'll always show forth his true colors, man. He's gonna take you to the barbecue to make you part of the barbecue. He don't want you sitting at the table, he wants you on the table. You know what I mean? So, and look what came with the rest of it. It said delectable Negro, human consumption of a homoeroticism with U.S. slave culture.
See that?
This is a book, man.
I told you there was a book about it, bro. And they came up with recipes on how to cook it, man.
Look at this. This is a dude's face being painted, and he's over here making these noises as they're cutting into this cake from the groin area up.
To make it seem this is what the elect do, but they do it sometimes with real people. But when they want to put on a show for everybody else, for everybody to look at, they do stuff like this. They pretend, right? But
his head is real, brother. His head is literally real. That's a real dude.
That's a real dude.
Yeah, look.
I know. That's a real dude. But look what they doing, right? They got the real dude with a fake body, and they even paint him with more blackface, man.
This is crazy. And look how they got him screaming. Listen.
He's getting off on that.
Look how happy she is right here. This is the wickedness of Esau. So when they all say not all of them are wicked, that looks like the one lady in the damn produce section looking for damn kale sandwiches. You know what I mean?
And even if you pay attention while they doing it, how are they doing it? They're acting like they're really doing it. They're coming in from the top. They're doing it all slow while he screams. You seen the dude kind of came back for a second. Bro, that's what they really want to do to you. And they will do it in that day, man.
And every time he cuts into him, he starts screaming. Like he sees them pick it up, and as soon as he starts seeing them cut, he starts screaming.
You couldn't pay me enough to do that, man.
You gotta keep after. And look at you see the lips. They make him have some big old red lips, teeth all over here. This is this dude's mouth right here, but they exaggerated his mouth because that's how they look at us. Like we're just. This is a wild, sick people, and they call us savages. This is enough. This is kind of stuff you see that they'll look at us and strike our channel. They'll try to say, "Look, y'all are teaching wickedness." But look at the things that they got on their social media. These are social events, and every so-called Edomite, so-called disgusting, vile white person in that room is getting off on the thought and image of cutting into a so-called Negro slave, man. To the point they hired actors to simulate a live cutting as they're cutting into, probably they made Devil Food's chocolate, man.
Hey, man. That's embarrassing, bro. That's disgusting. Putting us back. Never mind, man.
And this is the detriment of food, right? And this is this right here, it shows what would the spirit in this room is a very highly corruptible spirit. So this is really showing on high levels the corruption in the U.S., man. And what they'll do this to us, imagine what else they're planning on doing. And that leads us into the next topic. I'm gonna show you what they're about to do. This is what's going on. So you got to watch out. This is and you know who owns the so-called Disney Channel is the so-called Amalekites, man. The so-called ish people, the little hats, the curly cues, the curly fried hair, the ones that, you know, do disgusting things with babies on circumcision, man. You know, orally. The vial of the earth, the synagogue of Satan. All of these acronyms they have, these nicknames, these aliases. That's who they are, man. But let's see what's going on with them right now. With it says the Disney company buying the rights to the Bible. Why? Let's see. Let's see what's going on with this.
Company buying the rights to the Bible.
Matthew 17:21 was completely deleted from both versions.
Y'all don't find that suspicious? This is exactly why I push for fasting. Baby, do you understand how big that is? I was studying my Bible maybe about 7, 8 years ago. I was reading the story, right? And then it skipped from 19 to like 23. And I'm like, what? What is this? So I was reading the NIV. I pulled out my KJV Bible and it literally had fasting and praying in there. Baby, I will not be reading the NIV no more. I won't. I'm sorry. I won't. Or the RSV. I won't. Just off of how Disney move with what they doing with little kids. Do you understand that fasting can change your life? Do you understand? I fasted, right? I almost died. I have a whole testimony on my page, on my YouTube page.
That's enough for that. But you see what's going on is they're trying to do this corruption. They have this high corruption to try to take our word. And what was the Lord say about adding and taking away from the word?
Bring that up.
Let's bring that out, man. I think that's in Deuteronomy, what? Deuteronomy 2?
Now you can just go to Revelations 24 in the very last.
Yeah, we could do that one too. But this, I want to show it in the law. So I want to show you how you can say that these people do not keep the customs of our. They can't be the people if they can't even keep the laws of the book, man. Check this out. It says right here, Deuteronomy 4:2. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish out from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I commanded you. It's plain upon tables as a from. That's why it's in Revelation. That's because the Lord repeated what the Most High was saying. You cannot diminish the words of the Most High God, man, because obviously he's gonna have enough. He has all the ability to preserve it, but the audacity, and you see that these people do these things, that they openly go and try to hide and corrupt things in the open sight just so they can mislead your spirit. But the Lord said, what if you do that? Like the brother was saying in Revelation, he said, what would be the consequence of that? I can probably keep going here, but he wants to go to Revelation 22. Check this out. He said, yeah, there you go. He says 22:19. It says, and if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Yahweh shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book. So you're gonna lose all your benefits if you were an Israelite. But these are heathens, man. They're not gonna enter into the gates of the city. If they do, they're gonna enter in on chains. So they're not gonna come in, praising the Lord like thank the water for giving us our heaven. No, they're gonna be taken into their hell by chains, man, because they obviously are corrupting of the word of the Most High God. They don't want the children of the Most High to know these things. That, hey, why are you trying to remove these certain aspects, teach this certain type of doctrine? Because you're trying to pervert the heart and spirit of the Israelites, man. It's a very easy thing to see. You there, brother? Oh, I think he's in the midst of transfer. So this is what it says right here. King James had books written about demons, and we're not going into that folly. But a lot of this basically goes into it. So, and if these are the people, let's look at it like this. If these are the people of the Most High God, then why are they doing things that the Lord told them not to do? Is that easy? Why are they doing these things that the Lord said not to do? But because we understand what 2 Ezra 3:36, thou shalt find that Israel by name hath kept thy precepts, but not the heathen. When you're looking at Walt Disney, that dude is a heathen, man. That's like I told you, that's the direct adversary of the Most High. That's an Amalekite. And all these wicked things that they do to the children are the same thing that they were doing back in the old days in Babylon, all the way back, the same customs. So you can't say if they have practices where they transgress the laws, they're taking out the scripture, they don't fully believe, and say that those people in that land right now are the Most High's people. When he said that Israel will keep thy precepts, but not the heathen. I see we keeping the precepts. They like to say we're the Gentiles, but why are we keeping the Lord's commandments with all diligence and all efficiency and love and sincerity? And they just wear it as, they even call it, what do they call it? Secular. I'm not a practicing ish person. That's just my ethnicity. That's not your ethnicity. You're an Edomite. You're a convert. So if you don't practice your conversion, you're just a damn Caucasian, man. And you definitely not keeping, if you're not keeping the precept, you definitely not Israel. So it's playing upon tables right there. You see, so we gotta be mindful of the things that we do, and they put it in certain translations. That's why we don't necessarily say go against any of the other translations, because they have some things that you can use in comparative text, true. But as far as word for word translation for what the scrolls for the original manuscripts were saying, the KJV would definitely be considered one of the most accurate in comparison to any of the other added translations with their implementation of what they considered the statement, the sentence was saying, or the script was saying, the verse was saying. The KJV goes literally word for word through the translations on that. So also, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So right now, and this is all targeted to Jake, mind you. But let's see, this is a corruption. So they're going to corrupt the word. They're trying to corrupt the word that we have access to, right? But now let's see what they do to us inside of their own system, man. Let's see. In America, what is the U.S. What is the U.S. doing to the so-called black man in America?
Guts the lifeline for prisoners who claim wrongful convictions. Not only does this decision bar federal courts from hearing new evidence presented in the state court as a result of ineffective legal counsel, they use the old school deviation of states' rights. You know who Justice Clarence Thomas is? The one whose wife tried to organize the overthrow of the government for January 6th? Yeah, him, he on Supreme Court. Him said that the federal court should not be allowed to override the state's core power to enforce criminal law. And just to make sure it's clear, what this means is that in the future, when it comes to people that's convicted, they will have no recourse to have federal courts try to reverse a wrongful conviction. In research over me search, who you think most likely to be impacted by this precedent? Innocent African Americans are more likely to be wrongfully convicted than whites and spend longer in prison for it. If you asking the question, what country has the most wrongful convictions? The United States. They love to pathologize my people for being murderers and saying that you only represent 13% of the population, you represent over half of the murders. Well, they don't never want to talk about how we also represent about half of the exonerations. And that's on being wrongfully convicted. Supreme Court.
You see that? And then the Lord talks about those types of things happening to us, man. Let's just go into the book of, let's bring out the classic, man. The Isaiah 42 and 22. So what the Lord say about what's going to go on? Look. The Lord said, Isaiah 42 and 22, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are all hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore. That's what the brother was literally going into with what they're trying to do on a state level. So let's look at this on an easier way to digest it. It's saying there's layers, there's levels to this. Just like in 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. There's the Most High, you got Yahweh, you got man, you got woman, you got children. Just like in the government state, you got the federal government, you got the state government, you got city, county, and then you got city. You know what I mean? You have different layers to the law of how the laws work. So what they're saying is, let's say wherever state you live in, we live in the state of, we're in Houston, so we're in Texas. So we get in a situation where you meet the right complexion for a criminal that looks like your twin all of a sudden, and you just stepped out your house, but you the one that was across town robbing the bank, and you just checking your mail. They hem you up, they arrest you, you go to jail. They say, you know what, you look like them. You got eyewitnesses saying it's you. They don't want to listen to the evidence like they do with our people. And now you snared in a hole because now you stuck. Nobody wants to listen to you. You broke. You can't afford a good lawyer. You got a community lawyer. You know what I mean? And now then they throw your ass in jail. And then when they realize they got the wrong person, they're trying to say you can't appeal your case because you can't tell like the head, hey, these little dudes down here, they messed up. They won't let me out of jail. So I need y'all to help me out, get me out of jail because they won't listen to me. They're saying that they don't want the head of the government that sets the president for the rules. They want the states to now regulate what should and shouldn't be legally allowed. So they're basically trying to take away the whole point of having a constitution, meaning that the federal government regulates all law. So by federal law, if it's federally allowed, the state can't make a law greater than the highest law that's made in the land. And if they do wrongly do it, they're gonna hold you in jail and they're not gonna let you go. So they get you down for a murder. You can't appeal to get out of it, even if they know that, hey, we know you're wrong, but there's nothing we can do about it. You just gotta sit in here and rot in jail now. That's the wickedness of what's going on, man. And that's what the Lord said that we are. We're a people of that. And also in what is it? Lamentations 4:11, 4:17. It says what? It says right here, Lamentation 4:17. As for us, our eyes has yet failed for our vain help, and our watching we have watched for a nation that could not save us. The Lord said in Isaiah that there was going to be nobody to restore us, but we're looking to these people who are locking us up, who are eating us like delicacies, that are making mockeries of us, cutting. Look, you know how disrespectful that is? Imagine doing that to a damn, so-called, a so-called Ish person or a Moabite or Ammonite or something, and you got down pineapple upside down cake and it's all yellow, and you over here every time you hear it, every time you cut into them, you hear gong, some real racist shit. But they would say you out of line, y'all are hateful people, y'all are disgusting, and especially if they caught us watching it, videoing it, laughing about it, posting it online, hiring people to act like abused, murdered, tortured people of your nation. But we look at these people like that we were talking about in the first place. Hey, watch who you take to the damn barbecue with you. Watch who you befriend. Don't go to these other nations and join hand in hand to them, because they're not going to save you. What they're going to do is try to hurt you. They're going to put you in a position to be consumed by some fashion because they enjoy your destruction. What you got, brother? All right, bet. So, that's just one of those things that we can kind of look at and see that, man, there's no hope for us in this land, man. Because why would they let us go? Why would they let us go when they do this to it? Verse 18, they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. And we know in these last days, that's what they're going to do, hunt us down like dogs. We're unsafe. That was a curse. And the Lord said that we will fail with our heart will fail, because no matter what, we'll be terrified. We can't go. We have no assurance of our life.
Hey, come, man. Blocky, you mind if I eat a little bit?
Man, eat a lot, man. Set the table.
Right. Yeah, I just want to paint a little picture, man. Right. They pay a Jake, right, to scream while they eat a cake, pretend he's being tortured, right? And nothing happens to him. They kind of get their laughs, their jokes. They kind of joke about it at the office, put it on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? They flaunt it. However, we go out there, bring out the Lord's word, and the other nations, they come up to us bowing, and now we're hateful. Now we're wicked. Now we're the ones that are false prophets and false teachers. Huh? That's ass backwards. Huh? We're literally doing the Lord's work, speaking the Lord's word, and we're hated for it. Now, of course, that's backwards. It's right on point, because the Lord said that was going to happen. But it's backwards. Because what? The earth is getting into the hands of the wicked, man. And Karatas, are you there? time. Don't worry about it, man. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. That's Job 9:24. He covered up the faces of the judges thereof. If not, who are they? Where are they? Right? That's what Esau does. He took that light and he put it for darkness, man. Right? And they love the right? But that's it. I yield.
What verse did you need?
No, I'm good, King. I brought it out. I quoted it.
All praise. So, and that's kind of what you're kind of looking at right now. You're looking at the corruption in this place that is so crazy. And like, and you know who really comes out to hunt us down? It's really not just, you know, it really is the cops, man. That's what they call the old patty roll. They come and get us. They come and hunt us down. But watch this. Look what goes with the paid corruption of your tax dollars. The people that you say are supposed to serve and protect. And look, and mind you, you're gonna watch the type of people who are doing these horrible acts to the people that are innocently walking down the street. Watch it.
It's nasty, sickening behavior. Innocent people just standing there getting slushies thrown at them from a passing car. And you won't believe who's throwing the drinks. They're uniformed police officers patrolling the streets of Louisville, Kentucky in an unmarked car. You can hear them yucking it up the entire time. They actually recorded their cruel antics and shared the video with some of their fellow cops. In this incident, a marked police car following them records a slushie hitting officers in the undercover car. Were identified as Curtis Flynn, 40, and Brian Wilson, 36. They were members of an elite undercover drug task force. Both have pled guilty. Flynn was sentenced to 3 months, Wilson got 30 months. And it wasn't just slushies. The accused cops also seem to take pleasure in driving through puddles, drenching people. I'm not a drink! It's nasty, sickening behavior. Innocent people just standing there, getting slushies thrown at them from a passing car. And you won't believe who's...
Yeah, and you see that? And that's what they're doing for fun, man. Terrorizing the people. Assaulting them with you know how crazy that feels to have somebody roll down a window and just launch something outside of you. You don't know if they're shooting at you. You don't know if they're trying to throw something on acid on you. You don't know what's going on, man. But these are the people that are hunting people's steps, man. We just read about in Lamentation. These are the same people that will pull you out of your car and choke you in the street. These are the same people that walk up to your car and then shoot you because you know what? They got a guilty conscience because they do a lot of corrupt things. So they're very ill-spirited because they have a wicked spirit. And look how joyous they are as they're doing these things to people. And if they're doing it as an undercover drugs thing, I don't think that they're in the Malibu doing that. I don't feel like they're in Manhattan doing that. I feel like they're probably in Third Ward, Acres Home, you know, the hoods and the ghettos, man. And these are the people that they're walking around, the poor of our people, and assaulting them with random objects, man, trying to make their living conditions hard. Because what if they're homeless and they throw a big old slushy on them and now they're just out there, can't wash up. They got to sleep out there. The syrup is sticking to their skin, so now insects is attracted to them and biting them. You know, just making it hard for the people out there. Just because that's what's fun to Esau is to hunt and destroy and to inflict unnecessary pain, man. You got anything else to cook on that?
No.
Come on. But look, this is also going into, you know, what this is. You can see it. That's the state of their government, the state of their protectors, which is their law enforcement. You got to ask yourself, you know, what is this all indications of? And I feel like all of these are showing a giant direct arrow to say this is the great fall of Babylon. You're starting to see it happen, man. And a big way to see that things like that are going and taking place is to start seeing that the money game is switching up, right? What you got?
Fall of Babylon and what? They're setting up for the persecution of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man.
Oh, absolutely, King. That's exactly what's happening, man. So let's talk about this on a level. Are we headed for hyperinflation? The answer is it's already happening. You understand? And let's look at it. What does it mean for hyperinflation? It says hyperinflation, generally described as a series of rapid, excessive, and out of control price increases, is rare in developed countries. But We're going through it in a developed country right now. You understand? Shalom, sister. Shalom, sister Sanika as well. Shalom, sister Yolanda. That because it says that's because a true hyperinflation has to meet a high bar, an inflammatory rate of 50% per month or 1,000% or more per year, according to the most economists. It says the U.S. Federal Reserve System says that annual inflation rate of 2% is most consistent with the Federal Reserve mandate for maximum employment and price stability. Let's say, so let's just go to this right here. Key takeaways: hyperinflation is out of control inflation, is which the prices of goods and services rise at a monthly of a rate of 50% or an annual rate of 1,000%. Hyperinflation can be caused by oversupply of paper currency, which is what they're doing, hyperly printing out stuff for the wars, right? Hyperly trying to do it for the tax hikes for the Federal Reserve, right? 600-point hike. So now the loans are all the way up because now they got to pay that back. It says without correspondence, rise in production of goods and services. Some people believe the U.S. is headed toward a hyperinflation due to the past and possible future government stimulus behavior. Experts in general do not believe in hyperinflation exactly. And they're always going to put that out there to try to keep you on guard. But let's see if that's true, if hyperinflation isn't real. What is going on? It says right here, record number. If hyperinflation isn't real, why is there a record number of Americans can no longer afford rent, not even to buy a house? Esau's having a hard time. Everybody's having a hard time. Because what? It says single mom Caitlin Colbert watched as rent for her 2-bedroom apartment doubled. Then they say it had to at least increase 50% for it to be considered hyperinflation, 50% per month. So she's paying this and it doubled, meaning it went up 100%, right? It says the 2-bedroom apartment doubled, then tripled, and then quadrupled over a decade in Denver from $750 to $3,374 last year. Every month, like millions of Americans, Colbert juggled her costs, pay rent or swim team fees for one of her 3 children, rent or school supplies, rent or groceries, and basically that's the life of Jake, man. We barely, either we're gonna have a place to live or something to eat. We can't make it in this place with both. But now the plagues are coming back to those who afflicted us, man. The plagues are coming back to those who subjected us and put these curses, and held us, man. They've cursed us. Now you're seeing the curses coming back on them, man. So when you start seeing, look, let's see, let's get to it real quick. Let's go there. It says, all right, check it out. And trying and boom and hearken. Let's see. Neither is it beyond the sea. All right, I'm trying to find it where it says that he would put the curses back on our enemies, man. See that coming, dripping the questions got the dripping out the most part. Okay, so livers. Okay, and then look, check this. This Deuteronomy 30 and 70. 30 and 7. He said, and the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Now you got little Becky, you got Bob. Now they're like, man, it's too hard to live, man. It's too hard to eat. It's too much. They're debt. They're laden with debt, man. This place is crumbling because they're printing extra money just to try to balance off the hyperinflation. That's why your rates and your loans are so much. That's why when you go to the store and all these things that are affected are like eggs and milk. No normal commodity. Egg cost increase. Egg prices are rising again. Why are they so expensive? Let's see. This is just basic understanding. Look, it says egg prices, the average cost of a dozen eggs and December large was $2.51 in December, up from $2.14 in November. These things keep going. The latest consumer price index shows the price of eggs rose 8.9% from November to December. Despite month-to-month increase, egg prices are nowhere near where they were a year ago. Data shows eggs were down 23.8%. So this is the cost of. This is a chart to show based off of how poorly the economy is doing. You'll see it in your eggs, man. You see when it's doing real good, you can get in August 2019 eggs for what? $1.24 a dozen. And then when that planned event happened where everybody had to get that stick in the arm, it started going up. Now it's $2. And ever since it started to happen, what has it done? It's risen and risen and risen. It went from 4 years ago from $2, $1.33, to now we're paying $4.82. And now it's come back around and it's back on the increase again, so $2.51. So you're looking at a 100% increase on just eggs, on commodities. So all your groceries are costing twice as much. That means you can buy half as much. That means you're not going to be able to feed your family sufficiently. Your family didn't decrease, but because it's a hyperinflation where you can get the same amount of product, but it costs twice as much, and you can only buy half as much. That's hyperinflation. That's the definition in itself. So we're telling you, you got to put your trust in the Lord in these last days, because it's getting to a point where people can't even the enemies are having a hard time paying their rent. They're complaining about it, how they can't go to their swim class. It's just everything that you got going on right now. You got to make sure that you praying to make sure that the Lord brings that mercy so you can get hedged in these last days. And this is just the fall. So if you can't no longer afford the food, can't afford the home, the housing, now you also how do you actually get any of these funds to pay for your house, to pay for your food? You got to have a job. Now look, these mega companies that were utilizing these employees without even question, they're like, you're no longer useful, man. This is kind of what I feel like in Egypt when Pharaoh was telling us to get off the clock, when it was like, hey, all right, y'all ain't really got no one the pyramid to build. Go find your own straw. Get out of here. Watch this.
Oh, but they making everybody turn in their fucking vest. We gotta turn in our badges. They firing everybody, bro. This shit is crazy. Amazon, this shit is crazy to me, bro. And they finna walk us out. But they making everybody.
See, they just walk them out. They got to work. 200 people say, yo, we don't need y'all no more. Y'all are done. It's a wrap. We don't need y'all. But how many other mega companies are going to do this, start doing this? I hear, UPS is doing certain things. I hear Amazon. You see Amazon doing certain things. You're going to start seeing mass layoffs. You're going to have hyperinflation, mass layoffs, food's too expensive. And you know what all of this generally goes into an indication of? Look at I'm talking about the 60s to the early 30s. Any of that, it goes into preparing for war, because everything starts getting cost goes up because look, you've entered into a war. America's overseas bombing Iran now, helping, Israel kill a bunch of innocent people, I'm not saying they're innocent. Everybody got their judgment. I'm going to say this, helping them with their wickedness, not condemning it, because look, all of this is leading up to what? Look what it's saying, and the brother sent this in earlier. And American officials told Sky News Arabia, Netanyahu's government informed Washington, the U.S., of an imminent Israeli military attack on Rafah. And that's the Arab land. Let's see where that's at. It said the Palestinian presidency, if Israel attacks Rafah, it will be a step that threatens security in the region and the world. Because that means they're gonna start letting it go on everybody, because now the world has divided itself and it's definitely showed forth its sides. So you're gonna have the NATO, and then you're gonna have the BRICS, and everybody right now in that region of the world is fighting. You got Russia versus Ukraine, and that's a enemy. That's a BRIC versus a NATO affiliate or wannabe affiliate. You got Israel, which is a NATO affiliate, versus Iran and the Arabs, which is a BRICS associate and affiliate. And now you got the dividing of the Battle of Jehoshaphat. I'm not going to go that far, but that region of where these worlds are brewing up to start kicking off, to having all the lands in the earth being touched, all the countries in the land to get touched. Because watch, it says NATO military committee chairman warns nations must prepare for Russia conflict. And these are things that are going on in the world right now.
Large numbers of civilians and increased production of weapons and military equipment. His comments that peace will not always be a given come as nearly 90,000 NATO troops prepare for the largest training exercise since the Cold War. Diamond visit, Defense Secretary.
And now everybody in the whole world, we've been bringing this out week by week, by week. You seen in what was that? I think Yemen, the 2 million Arabs that gathered together to say we want war, we want war. They want the blood of Babylon. Everybody's tired of Babylon, man. Everybody wants this place to be destroyed because this is a perverse place, man. This place is just look, because what is one of the biggest things that is so horrible about Babylon and its subsidiaries are that they love democracy. That's what they're into. They're into that democracy spirit, meaning that, you know what, whatever we want, we can do. Whatever everybody votes for, we can do. You know what? If somebody says we need order, we need to establish chaos because we don't want that. We want anybody to feel like they can just get away with what they do. And why do they do that? You know what? Why the world wants to blow up Babylon and destroy this place? Because what it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, homosexuality, bestiality, incest, rape, murder, robbery, stealing, killing, torture, like we see, mockeries of the saints, man, and that great grievousness which they have prescribed. And this is what they try to go to every other land and say, this is what y'all should do. Y'all should follow after us. That's why when they go into the Middle East, they go to Russia, they like, no, we don't want no part of y'all, man. We don't care about what America wants to prescribe and to do, because y'all are perverse and y'all have grievous acts that you guys put forth onto all the people, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. Look at that. Who did they put up in slavery above us? The so-called black woman, the so-called Native American woman, because they wanted to make sure that the widows were the one that they're going to pray after. So right now in Babylon, they're not trying to target the so-called black man and make him feel some certain way to fulfill something. No, they target the women to make them go off to desire certain things, to object and go against the Lord, to go against their husband, to continue the chaos cycle. They target the women to throw their spirit off, and they prey on them because they know that they'll fall for it. They'll fall for those misleading and this wicked spirits, and they rob the fatherless. And who are the fatherless? They take it from us, the men. They take us and take advantage. They rob and spoil us, right? That's what Isaiah 42:22 says. They put us in prison hold. So now we can't even raise our kids. We can't be a hedge of an example for our members of our family. All we are for a prey and to be robbed and to be destroyed, man. But this is all indications for things to come, and that the end was going to come, that war is on the horizon. You see this? This is even China. China is being so wicked. Look what China's doing. These are real. This is not an act. This is not a production of Disney on Ice. This is literally their military. This is how serious they take this. They're out here doing Broadway performances, letting you know we're gonna sing and we're gonna be joyous to bring down the whore of Babylon, man. And as this place is already falling apart, decaying, and you still have hate in your heart, you still going against your husband's orders, you still not trying to keep the Sabbath day, you still trying to smoke the weed, you still trying to whore out your sister, you still trying to chase whores, you still trying to go against everything the Lord set up. This is what's on your front door of this wicked place, man. The Lord said that if you don't get tight with it, He gonna come in like a thief in the night and get up with you. He gonna spew you out of your mouth because you lukewarm. He would rather you be wicked. And if you want to be wicked, you're gonna die in your wickedness, man. The Lord said He's gonna kill the sinners of my people, man. And remember, these things are not something to overlook. But Jake ain't gonna get it right until what? Hey, they got a bayonet pointing down at him, and then he calling out at the Lord, and the Lord said, "You're gonna, laugh at your calamities, man." And all of this could be avoided if you just what? Let's just bring it out. If you have the right spirit in you, this is what you will be striving for. This is what you would literally be striving for. We bring it out all the time, but do we really understand why we need to have this? You should be right here. Revelation 14:12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith in Yahushua. That's the only thing that's going to save you, man. Because the Lord's our rock and our salvation. But you can't expect it if you go against it. You break in the commandments. You have no faith that the Lord's going to come and save us. And when He said He was going to do it, when all chaos and hell's going to go bad, when everything looks bleak, when everything looks hopeless, you have no faith in the Lord. You lost that. You're just going through the motions to please man. But in your heart, you don't believe none of the words that of the Lord that he's speaking. You just want to keep your friend group. You just want to keep your group chats. You just want to go to the feast days. You just want to be considered a part of something that looks to be better than, damn being a thought out here or being a gangster out here. But you still in spirit, that unclean vessel, man. So then make sure that these last days, as you see it breaking down at your home front, and everybody else in the whole world is planning to destroy your home front that you live in, and you still acting like this is your final rest. Hey, let the Lord have mercy on you, man. But if you don't, that's only if you keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Only if you have faith in Yahweh and keep His commandments and faith in Yahweh, man. And with that, I'm gonna say Shalom, Israel. We love y'all. We appreciate all the attendance, but we want y'all to be more in the line with the Lord. We love that you can watch these words, but we want you to don't be just a hearer of the word, be a doer of the word. And with that, Shalom.